Okay, I'm going to kick off. Some other people are due to join us today. Oh, we've had some more people come in. Hi, Louise. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today as well. Lovely to meet you. You can type me some questions in the little chat box there if you want to ask me anything as we go along. We do have some more people who are scheduled to come and join us in today, so I'm just going to make a little start and you can chime in whenever you like with any questions. Just give me a quick wave and a hello in the chat box if you heard all that. Always have to make sure that this stuff is working. Right, I'm going to launch in. The way that this works is that when I'm presenting on a Mac, unfortunately Macs don't seem to have the sort of double screen capability that PCs do. So when presenting a webinar, it's a little bit odd, but I'm going to start by working us through the slides, and then every now and again I'm going to just check into the chat box and see if you guys have asked me any questions. So welcome to the Freelance Working Mum Apps That Save Your Sanity little webinar. And if you are here, it means that you are probably trying to juggle work and family life, and you probably look a little bit like this woman here. I know that I often have and often still do, sort of, juggling my iPads and my Macs and my house stuff, and sort of falling over Lego on the way to meetings and that sort of thing. And if that's you, I reckon you might resonate with what we're going to say. So this is me. My name is Jo Gifford, also known, of course, online as the Dexterous Diva. You can find me online at facebook.com/DexDiva and on Twitter at DexDiva. And a quick overview on me. I am a designer, writer, and a blogger, an e-course and ebook author. You may have found my book, The Freelance Mum Survival Guide, which is currently on Amazon at just £1.87. And I've also written an e-course, Idea Generation and Creativity for Bloggers. And I also run a program called Access All Areas from my blog, which is all about coaching and access to all the courses which I produce for a whole year. I'm a self-employed mum, and this is why we're here today. I want to talk about how that works for me, and how I manage with the tech and stuff around me. I've had very much of a portfolio career. I started off as a graphic designer and used to work in London pre-kids, moved back up to Cambridgeshire when I went self-employed, and I've been up here running my own graphic design business for 6 years, and the last couple of years I've also been doing social media and blogging, and I blog both for clients professionally, and I also have my own sort of globally read blog, The Dexterous Diva, from which I teach my classes and stuff like that. I'm a creativity addict, always looking for new ways to be creative and to use tech to help me in the quest to balance motherhood and sort of working life as well. So yep, I do one-to-one coaching with small businesses looking to use blogging in their strategy for their online content marketing, and I teach via Skillshare and obviously on my group. So I've got a few different things going on. I'm just going to check that you're all still there by clicking that one. Are you there? It's quite disconcerting, so there's two of you there. I can't see whether you are, but I'm just going to keep going unless I hear otherwise. First of all, can you see my screen? Oh, guys, can you see my screen now? Sorry, I just realised that I probably wasn't even showing you my screen, was I? Did you hear all of that? Anyway, sorry, I pressed record, but I hadn't been showing you my screen. So anyway, this is who I am. As you can see over here, the little overview. I'm going to go back onto present mode. And right, so a quick overview of some of the apps we're going to be looking at today. Google Docs, also now known as Google Drive, Skype and Skype Wi-Fi, SaneBox, If This Then That, Evernote, Boomerang for Gmail, Wayfind, Dropbox, Instagram and Instagram apps. There are so many apps out there to help us freelance mums and self-employed working mums survive and to manage our time and our work effectively. So as a little overview here, we're going to be looking at social media, how to manage that on the go, working on the go, creating smart workflows, how to access information, and how to stay productive and smart. So to begin with, social media, managing social media on the go, or certainly if not on the go, around a family life is something that can be really important to, in particular, a small business. One of the most important apps that I use for this is Buffer. If you haven't found Buffer yet, I could highly recommend adding this to your portfolio of apps. Essentially, Buffer allows you to literally stack up some updates which will be drip fed across your networks. And you can add all of them in there, so LinkedIn and Google Plus and Twitter, Facebook, all of them. And you can stack up your kind of shares and your sales posts and your general social media updates to be drip fed throughout the day. So you can schedule, as I do, I spend about 10 minutes in the morning scheduling updates for the day, stacking up this little buffer here, knowing that that's going to go out throughout the day, which is really handy, of course, if you're then sort of running off to like a baby group or doing the school run or all that sort of stuff, so you can get yourself sorted with the backbone of it. And the other thing of being a working mum, and in particular a self-employed mum, is that sort of time is really of the essence. We might not always have childcare for the after school part, or we might be juggling nursery and work, so you need to make the time that you do have really work for you. Another really, really handy tool that I have is ifttt.com. If this, then that. If you know my blog, you'll know that I talk about this an awful lot on there. The way that if this, then that works is that it makes all the apps that you probably currently use or that you can use talk to each other. And it does that by setting up what we call recipes. So if this action happens, then that action will happen. So for example, if I post a new post to my Facebook page or to my Facebook fan page, then I can set it that same update becomes tweeted. I can set it that sort of photos from my Instagram go directly to Twitter. I can make RSS feeds that I want to stay in contact with. I can make them sort of come straight to my inbox or to places where I'm filing stuff. It just helps the internet work for you. I'm just going to check in on you guys again and check that you're still there. Okay. And then, of course, another really handy one to manage your social media on the go is Facebook Pages app. Now, all of these you can run from your smartphone, which is just genius. If you don't have a smartphone, I would highly recommend getting one, just for the fact that it will save your sanity, and it's like a little mini office on the go. Certainly when I was still very much running my design business and the girls were newborns and everything, and I used to manage freelancers and a whole team of people and clients, literally between baby groups and feeding twins and stuff like that, having my smartphone was really a godsend, because I was able to check proofs on the go, kind of answer emails, make sure that my colleagues have got stuff. Obviously the aim is that we want to be in the moment with our children, and please, don't get me wrong, I don't think that you can have it all and you can be super mum sort of juggling very easily, and of course we want to be with our children in the moment as much as we can. These things are just here to work as a backbone to help you more efficiently. So going back to Facebook Pages, if you are managing a Facebook page for yourself or for your business, to be able to access it and to look at the analytics and the posts from your smartphone is really, really handy. And oh goodness, sorry, my signs just went flying. Google Plus for your smartphone as well is really helpful for those of you who are on Google Plus, and if you're not, I highly suggest that you are. Again, that's another way to check your Hangouts, to check any updates and to manage a status update on the go. But most of it you can do from Buffer. If you want to make sure that you have a presence online throughout the day, then get your tweets and your status updates uploaded in Buffer. So working on the go, again, I've put kind of on the go here, like as if we're doing things on the bus or in the car, but all I mean is just if you need to fit things around your daily life, if you need to just check something while you're sticking a wash on and before you scoot out the door, it's about juggling your life and managing your workload in the right way. One of the really handy tools, which I only found out about in the last year or so, is Skype Wi-Fi, which is an app you can get for your smartphones. I don't know about you, I use Skype all the time for meetings and for talking to colleagues and clients and that sort of thing. I did not realise that you can have the Skype Wi-Fi app for your phone, which searches around if you are out and about and there's a Wi-Fi connection, like a BT Open Zone or something like that. And you can actually use your Skype credit to use that sort of Wi-Fi network and have Wi-Fi access. Why is that useful? Well, for example, if you're in a play barn or down at the, I don't know, sort of toddlers group, or, you know, wherever you are, in a cafe, whatever, and there's a Wi-Fi access there, and you just quickly need to check in and see whether that client has got back to you, or just check your social media, Skype Wi-Fi can be really handy. Google Drive is flipping brilliant. Google Drive makes accessing Word documents and presentations and everything on the go really, really handy. Basically, everything in my life is cloud-based for several reasons. I've always been a Mac owner, and you know, much as I love Macs, there's always been times throughout my career, and it would be the same with any technology really, where everything just goes. And I've had, you know, that awful situation where all my client work has gone down the drain with a dead Mac, and you're having to rely on sort of colleagues' backups and the backups that I might or might not have made. Now everything lives in a cloud, so I have a Google Drive and I use Dropbox, which I'll be coming to shortly. I never use Microsoft Office anymore. Basically, I use Google Drive, essentially because it's free and it syncs between all my devices. So if I'm writing, I don't know, like a press release or doing some draft blog posts, for clients, it all goes into Google Drive. I can share it really easily from there. I can download as a PDF, as a Word document, everything really, really easily, and it's free, and we like free. So definitely check out Google Drive. Evernote, this one here, the green elephant, is essentially my brain. I love Evernote. Evernote is wonderful for many reasons. You can store everything in there. You can take photographs of your notes, of your brainstorms, of your paperwork, of the stuff that the kids come home, from school with. All that artwork that you're not quite sure where to go, you can just sort of photograph it and keep it in their own notebook. All the letters, all the bills, all the stuff that you just end up with loads of paperwork everywhere. You can photograph it all and stick it into Evernote. Not only that, but those notes and those letters are searchable, which is just amazing. So you can photograph your receipts as you're kind of out and about on the go. If you're tracking your money, you can just, I use it for everything. If I have, and the other thing is I use it with if this, then that, so that I file specific emails and things and sort of research stuff which I need for different clients' works or for my blog posts. I've set up some filters so that if I file those emails or those items into a specific file, then they go straight to a sort of preset folder in Evernote. So I use that for everything. And again, it syncs between my Mac, my iPad, my phone, all that sort of stuff. Just going to check if you guys have got any questions. It's difficult to see from the Mac. Is Evernote free? Oh, yeah. Yes, there is a free version, Rebecca. There is a free version. But so you can get on it for free. You can have a little sort of trial of it for free. It's really, really brilliant. There is the premium version, which I have now upgraded to, which I think is like £3 a month or something like that. I could double check that for you. And I've just done that so that you can have access to your notes offline as well as online. But you could totally get going with the free version and try it out for you. There's a post on my blog called How I Use Evernote. If you have a quick search for that on dexterasdiva.co.uk as well, later on you'll see in a much more simplified way all the ways that I use it to file research and emails. And I even archive all of my tweets in there so that when I want to come back and do some smart social media scheduling, then I can reuse some of the updates which have been successful or popular, and it's kind of all in there. Some stuff that's really handy app-wise and productivity-wise in terms of creating images, if you blog or if you want to use sort of updates that are visual for your Facebook page. Instagram apps are your best friend. And again, there's a post on my blog about 11 of the best Instagram apps, which you can go and have a look for. But the ones that I use are Ronna, A Beautiful Mess, and Over. And within all of those, they work with Instagram, and you can do some amazing collages with them. You can add some great looking text. It's very kind of arty crafty, sort of designy feel. And that's perfect if you just want to do like a quote for your Facebook page and you're out and about, or you're sitting in a cafe, or you want to do something visual for your Google Plus or for your blog. You can do it all from your smartphone. These apps aren't free. They cost a very little amount each, but if you're going to invest in one, I'd say invest in A Beautiful Mess. I think it's like £1.49. Really, really handy. I use it all the time. Just going to check your questions again. I can drop in. Okay, no more. It's fine. So let's go back. Sorry, dropped my slide there. So that's working on the go. Staying productive and smart. Again, I've got my two friends in here, if this, then that's.com and Evernote. So smart because I'm filing my research via if this then that into Evernote and Google Docs. I'm using these to update my social media in a smart way. So there's a workflow which I talk about on the blog as well, which explains how in 7 minutes I can update a blog post to repeat on all my social networks straight after publishing it, and how I do that. And it does use if this then that. Staying productive and smart also means stepping away from the inbox. I don't know about you, but email can just be a vacuous black hole into which time can just go, obviously alongside sort of BuzzFeed and Facebook and everything like that. But stepping away from the inbox is something which I have always been striving towards. And there's been a couple of apps that have really, really helped me. Oh, goodness, sorry, my slides are just playing up. A Wayfind is a really, really helpful app. A Wayfind I used an awful lot in the days when the kids were small and I really didn't have much access to my inbox, and I wasn't able to kind of sit and email because I had, sort of young twins. And when I was working only a few hours a week, but I just needed to, be aware of something urgent had come in, a Wayfind works that you can set filters that if somebody from a specific sort of company or a certain name or with a certain subject emails you, you have a text message. So it comes straight to your phone. And that saved my ass several times. For example, I might have had a client who was working with one of my freelancers who was approving a PDF proof of something maybe, and and if we were on a tight sort of print deadline and we had to hear about that, then I would set that filter to hear from my clients and for the like approval of that, and then I could make sure that the files go. A Wayfind is incredibly useful if you just want to have an alert that someone has emailed you. And there is also a service within that where somebody can find you, without having to sort of track you down by phone or whatever. So if you are somewhere where you can't be contacted, but you still want to be, available if something urgent is needed, you can have on your autoresponder email, where to find you on your Wayfind address. And if somebody emails that address, then again, you have a text. Really, really handy. SaneBox is also fantastic for stepping away from that inbox, and it has literally saved my life over the last few months. SaneBox scoops things away for you, so it basically puts things that it knows aren't urgent into a folder called Sane Later. So rather than just having everything into your inbox and you feel overwhelmed, it puts it into Sane Later, and you can then remind it to bring things back into your inbox in a day, in a week, in a month, whenever. And I have been using that in conjunction with an app called Scoop, which I think has now just become defunct. But Scoop would literally pull together all of the promotional emails and stuff like that you might get with deals and sort of Groupon and all that sort of stuff, and it would pull it all together and give me one digest of that email every day. Like, it was a bit like having your own sort of personal virtual assistant in your inbox. So I use those in conjunction as well with Boomerang for Gmail. There's a free version out there which gives you a certain amount of credits. By the way, I should say here that all of my email is powered through Gmail, because there's so much capability to use that with If This Then That and Evernote and all these other apps. If you have your own domain name, you can actually make that come through Gmail. It just works, you know, much easier with everything else that I have in my life that's Google based, like the Google Drive and Google Plus and all that sort of stuff. So Boomerang allows you to write an email and to send it later at a certain time. Really handy, of course, if you're trying to catch up with your emails and you're watching your senders, or it's like sort of 11 o'clock at night and you're feeding the baby, or, you know, whatever, and you don't want your clients to know that you're a crazy woman, you know, working at all hours, then you can use Boomerang to do that for you. You can also set an email to boomerang back to you if it hasn't been clicked or opened, so you can track clicks of stuff as well. Oh, sorry. Dropbox is really, really, really handy. Again, it's another cloud-based stuff. So, you know, so like I say, all of this stuff, you know, works with web-based cloud stuff and also apps on your smartphone and your PC or Mac. Dropbox is where I store all my stuff, all my artwork, all my blog headers, all my stock images, any essential files, all that stuff, accessible on Dropbox. Because again, if your computer dies, then you are really scuppered. And also I can access all of that stuff from my smartphone, from wherever. Again, that used to work really, really well for me if you know, sort of client work was in there and my team were working on it and we had to check proofs, we could all share it via Dropbox. Just going to check in, see if there's any questions from you all. No, but you're still there, which is good. All right. Moving on, access to info. So I've mentioned Google Drive and Dropbox. So if you need to access key stuff, you know, perhaps you want to save your passwords and your usernames for all your stuff, I do that in Evernote now. I have like a cheat sheet to share with my team that lives in Google Drive, which has all the logins for the various client blogs that we update and that we write for. Obviously we have Dropbox on the go, and of course we can now work with Skype Wi-Fi if we are out and about and we need access to something in Starbucks or something like that. Then you've got all the information that you need at your fingertips, and by setting up systems to help you work in a smart way, you're going to be more in control of your time, in control of your sort of productivity, and you're going to find that you're working much smarter. So that's a quick overview on apps for me. I just want to give you a heads up on my free e-course, Idea Generation and Creativity for Bloggers, if you haven't already taken it. Thank you for joining me in this lightning tour of apps to help you stay sane. I'm just going to check in and see if there's any questions. Going to stop showing my screen for a minute. Any questions from you guys about the apps which I've just run through? Is there anything I can help you with? Have you got any apps which you use now and aren't effective or are effective? I'll just give you a few minutes. Okay, well look guys, if there's no questions, I'm going to love you and leave you, and you'll get a copy of this little sort of webinar and the slides, which I will also be uploading to Slideshare. Thank you so much for joining me today. Do come and say hi over on Twitter at DexDiva, and of course on Facebook page /DexDiva. Let me know how you get on with all that. Do give me a shout if there's anything that was useful from here that you use and that you can work with, etc. And thank you for joining me today. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Thank you.